I asked my friendos in the group chat if they wanna see a process video of how I make a puzzle for Borderline, and they were like, hell yeah, they wanna see that shit, and I'm just like, I see a thick man, I deliver a thick man. Hey guys, Alpha Burb here, or Fab Jack Plays as I'm known on my other account. Sorry for stuttering. And today, I'm gonna show you a progress video how I make puzzles. For this video, I'm gonna show you a floor trap puzzle that I have been working for a while, and after, well, not for a while, for about a day or so. It actually took me like yesterday to actually implement this shit. And I'm gonna do it today, maybe later tonight. I don't know. It's already 6 p.m. as you can see, and I have been trying to record this for 60 years because I stumble upon my words a lot. So technically, first off is the basics. Basics of this counts on the fact that you have to have this in your tile set. You can't, it's actually high, I don't recommend actually slapping that shit on care set because it won't work. Trust me, I've tried that and it doesn't work. It makes the things go backwards. It just completely messes the whole thing. I tried that one time with the field for the recreational area for Zone 2's adoption center, and boy, it killed a lot. So I have to make a separate ship set for that one. Yeah, it took a while. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna have to use this, and the way you should set it up is that you're gonna use this to set this up. For example, I'm gonna show you how it is. Technically, I've actually seen like 16 rows of 11 columns here, 11 tile. So you can do the math. And the map properties is that dimensions have to be 20 by 20. If you want to go higher than 20 and make this thing a bit longer, I wouldn't recommend, because it's gonna take you a lot of variables, probably depending on how much you're gonna go with to get from point A to point B. So yeah, I don't recommend going, unless you want to do that. Unless you want to do that, go right ahead. I'm not saying I don't care, but do what you want. It's good. So now that I explained the basics of this with the tile set, you're gonna have to, so no care set, it has to be implanted in the chipset, and of course the tile set for Zone 4 Indigo passability has to be on circles, which means that you are able to pass through. And also, you can actually see here events right here. Now, before I begin with this, I highly discourage you people from using switches for this kind of thing. The main reason why you shouldn't use a switch for this one, for example, let me show you one switch, kind of like, which is it? It's in Zone 2. Let me show you why. No, this is adoption center. Holy shit, I don't need that yet. For park, Highway Sansra, bug room. Okay, so this is a little example of why I don't recommend using switches for this one. For the puzzle, for this little thing, I'm actually using switches. However, I'm using in about almost about 40 switches for this one, because if I used one single switch for every single one right here, every single event right here, minus the decor, it's gonna fuck up pretty bad. It's gonna fuck everything up. The events are gonna play all of it at the same time. If you guys are aware of the alternate routes within Borderline, you're gonna know that which I actually fixed that. I actually added in conditional branches. So next demo, the final update will be playable per se. But for each switch that you make, one switch for one alternate, And if it's activated, it's gonna play in multiple areas. It's gonna be available in multiple areas. For example, if you're playing Azrael's route and there's a switch activated for him, you're gonna get another dialogue for Azrael, or for Baka with the blocks part, in which Baka actually sits on blocks. Baka will have more purpose in the future. We'll actually see. Maybe I may add in an ultimatum, or maybe I might end the final game. Really depends. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I don't recommend actually using switches, because if you're gonna use switches and you're gonna place them on all the events are gonna play all at once, and that's not gonna be good. So if you insist on using switches, if you really insist on using switches, then you're gonna have to take a lot, and I mean a lot of this. And I mean a lot of this. A lot of switches for this one. Like, for example, this probably has over, I think it has over 30. I guess. I forgot. I didn't do the counting. Shit. This switch has over 30 for each event. One event has about 1, 2, 3, 4 switches. They're all different. They're all different events. Same goes with variables per se. Anyways, back to the storage room. So this is why I actually highly encourage you guys to do the variables. So first things first, what you're gonna do is you're gonna have to add in variable operation, single variable floor trap. You're gonna set it to 0. You're gonna need this. This is gonna be important for when you go back downward. So it actually resets. So when you actually get lost a bit, you're gonna want to go down. It's gonna reset the whole thing. Yeah, these things are gonna go back to the original. These things are gonna go back to their original stances, original tiles. It's gonna be, so technically I learned that actually the hard way, because without this switch, without this variable set 0, this wouldn't retract back upward. The spikes, rhetorically saying, the spikes wouldn't retract back upward. You get what I'm saying? Okay, good. Now that you have this set up, you're gonna set up an event with 3 pages. Event 1 with the event graphic with the spikes, one with retracted spikes, and another one with the spikes back to its original form. So when tricking condition has to be touched by hero. So when you're about to touch that shit, it goes into this. It goes from this to this. So the character isn't touching the spikes, but it's actually touching the tile itself. It's literally missing the spikes. So yeet. But to actually make it happen, what you're gonna do is that you're gonna use a single variable, and you're gonna add a number. So +1. And the next event has to have a variable equal to 1. No greater than equal, no less than, or no greater, no not equal, No, it has to be purely equal to that number that you've placed. And when you step on another tile, you're going to add in -1, and the floor trap has to be equal to 2. So technically, when you're going to step on this tile, for example, it's going to be 2. We're going to be retracted for number 2, and number 1 is going to retract back to its normal stance. Repeat with all of these, until you reach point B right here. Right here, for example. And I'm gonna add in a switch later to actually turn off these puppies, so you'll be able to pass through without having to repeat the whole thing. Yeah. Okay, so next thing that you need to know is actually adding in the damage effect. The reason why I call it damage effect is because of the fact that when you step on something, you're gonna get yourself hurt. That's obvious. You're gonna need that event for that. Otherwise, you might end up breaking and making the puzzle, and it won't be able to work unless you step in on set 0 to reset the whole thing. But adopting would actually prevent. But without these, you get the idea. So for example, it won't let you pass through here. Your starting point is here. So for this one, what you're gonna do is to add this damage effect, you're gonna have to add flash sprite, show battle animation if you want to, play sound. I use strike 01. You actually know how that sounds. Move event. Hero has to probably must, depending on which way. If you're going up, then hero has to move down and change HP. The entire party's decreased to 120. Oh, and this is optional, but I actually added this for this part of the game because if you actually play them all and you have to disable bombs and some bombs actually stun you, the HP reduction doesn't kill you. No, it doesn't. You're gonna be immortal. Because I know you guys are gonna use a lot of luck tickets to heal yourselves. So for this one, you're gonna have to be careful. But here's the catch. You see these creases right here, for example? You're gonna need a conditional branch. For example, for these creases right here, it's important to have a conditional branch for this one. Mainly because of the fact that without a conditional branch, for example, if a character goes from here to here, it goes down. And it goes from here to here, and it immediately the event registers it as the event going downward. So technically you're gonna fuck up the puzzle that way. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add in conditional branch, which is found on page 3. Sprite hero is facing, you have up, right, down, left. For this one, I use the branch if hero up facing. You're gonna copy that shit. And else handler is also important for if you actually go to the left, it'll move you back to the right. You're also gonna need a conditional branches for these ones as well, because you're actually in here and you're actually gonna go down. So if you go down, the game it's gonna direct you to going down as well, which will also result in a puzzle being fucked up. So to avoid that, you're gonna have to add in conditional branches in certain parts of these puzzles, aka these creases right here. And I think that's it. I hope this helps for you guys in the future. I might make some more process videos regarding puzzles. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.